Well, it was aimed that, first of all, you've already taken away their presumption of innocence until, they be found guilty by a court of law. That's what, that comes out very clearly from your submissions. And also the second part of you trying to exonerate the role of the executive in all of this. By that, I mean in terms of the appointments, because if judicial officers are saying that, this people or could have been compromised from the very beginning. I mean, in terms of corruption doesn't just start in the judiciary, it sometimes starts from the executive in terms of nominations into the judiciary. Why do you have any reason to doubt that, considering what it is, some of the things that we've seen currently playing out? And why is it that you seem to be condemning these people even before a court of law has found them guilty?
Well, you must recognize one fact. I'm not condemning them on the basis of the allegations raised against them. I'm condemning them on the basis of their own confessional letters to the CJN. That how can a judge who has been appointed into office, who is not even a baby lawyer or a baby judge, come out in October when he has been arrested for corruption to tell us that, oh, the reason why I'm arrested now is because 8 months ago or 6 months ago somebody tried to compromise me. I refused. And you want to ask yourself,
you don't think we should investigate that?
No, I agree we should investigate. But for sure, what it has played out is that these judges are conspirators in desecration of the judiciary. Because if they had not been arrested now, they would have told us that, look, in February.
Should we let the givers go?
No, in corruption matters, the givers and the taker are both liable. But in this matter, the judges have shown that they are not worthy of sitting on that bench.
Because it goes back to appointments. It's amazing you're saying this. Don't forget that the last administration in Rivers State about the appointment of a judge, and that was the
chief judge,
the bickering between the state and the NJC at that time, and how the courts went on an indefinite strike in that state. So, and you still think it's not about appointments?
This issue is not about appointment, because like I've told you, there are procedures for appointment of judges.
Okay, let's take a break on that moment, and then we'll come back and let you conclude your thoughts. Join us again. Welcome back. Let's it's our closing moments, actually. You were going to conclude your thoughts in terms of the process, the history.
Yes, like we have said, if there's any area of the judiciary I also recognize there's a problem. It's with regard to the composition of the NJC. You recollect in 2011, in August, when prior 2011, governorship election petition matters terminates at the Court of Appeal. But surprisingly, in 2011, we saw a situation whereby the NJC, through the then CJN, Justice Katsina Alu, arrested the judgment of the Court of Appeal with regards to the Sokoto State Election Petition Tribunal. And that was the reason why he had a battle with a former president of the Court of Appeal, then Justice Ayo Salami, whereby the Court of Appeal was supposed to give a judgment on the Sokoto State Election Petition, and the CJN now called the president of the Court of Appeal that he should disband that panel. And the president of the Court of Appeal asked the CJN the reason for him to disband the panel. And the CJN said there's a petition against one of the members of that panel that has been alleged to have been compromised. And the president of the Court of Appeal said when they looked at the petition, they realized it was a hoax. And he told the CJN that, look, sir, we cannot disband this panel. They are going to do their job. And what did the Supreme Court do? In collusion with the NJC, they went ahead, an election that they don't have the constitutional powers to determine, to sit upon. They arrested the judgment of the Court of Appeal.
I mean, this now means, it raises more questions and gets us to notice that this is always about election cases. Doesn't that then say that, look, politicians and judges, these all should be investigated?
No, it's not only about election cases.
This corruption cases is largely about election
because these
matters.
are the ones that are, that are the public domain. There are lots of cases that, these judges...
The latest NGC policy, largely election cases. Declare your assets before and after election cases.
There are so many other cases that have come to the fore. But what we are seeing this is because of the fact that the arrested judges now are claiming that it is because they refuse.
Should the minister step aside?
No, definitely not. It's a mere allegation. And from the tone of the commission, from the tone of the judge's letter, I think what that judge has done is to further humiliate the judiciary.
But you took away the presumption of innocence of the judges based on mere allegation.
An election, a judgment of that matter was decided on January 27, and a judge said he reported on February 1. In law, it is called afterthought.
So you think that the judges should step aside, but the ministers should not?
The judges should step aside because why? The allegations against them and even their confessions has incriminated them.
But the ministers...
and they are supposed to be priests of the temple of justice.
What about the ministers?
The minister, the allegation he has raised now, if you look at the weight of the allegation, it's very, very clear, even though I want to assume that it should be subjected to further investigation, is that, like they say in law, it's an alibi, it's an afterthought. Because a judgment came on 27th of January, you said you reported, and even in reporting, you didn't even put it in right. I'm waiting for the CJN to come out and tell us the man reported to him, and the two of you didn't take any action according to law. Well, it means you are conspirators in desecrating the judiciary.
We'll find out from our next guest if an afterthought is inadmissible in court and to what extent and why. Nelson Ekujumi, thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
We'll be back after the break. Do join us again.